Hello students. So this is the first video that what we are going to prepare, and we are going to start the second PUC 8th unit. The 8th unit is Biology and Human Welfare. So in this topic 3 chapters are there. In this unit 3 chapters are there. Number 1, Human Health and Diseases. Number 2, Strategies for Enhancement of Food Production. Number 3, Microbes in Human Welfare. So out of 3, so today we are going to take an interesting topic, and this is also important for NEET as well as theory examination, that is microbes in human welfare. Microbes in human welfare. Microbes in human welfare. So now this is the interesting simple chapter plus duration. The NCERT hours, you can see that it is of 6 hours. 6 hours topic is there. We may complete in 6 or 7 hours. And now in these microbes in human welfare, as already you know that the meaning of the welfare. So it is to be beneficial to the humankind, that what we are going to study today. And now microorganisms. This is the important topic, and it is of normally 6 mark question in the theory examination. Theory examination alli kuda 5 to 6 mark question is supposed to be asked, plus 2 to 3 questions in the NEET examination. NEET exam also you can see that minimum 2, the maximum 3 or 4 you can observe that questions are supposed to be asked in this topic. So it is an easy topic, interesting topic, and important also. And now this microbes in human welfare comprises mainly 5 subunits, that what we are 6 subunits what we are observing that. Number 1, microbes in household products. Microbes in household products. 6 subunits that what we are observing in this topic. So now microbes in household products, microbes in industries, microbes in industry. Third one, microbes in sewage treatment. Microbes in sewage treatment. Next, microbes in the production of biogas. Microbes in the production of biogas. Next one, microbes as biocontrol agents. Biocontrol agents. Last one is microbes as biofertilizers. These are the contents of this chapter, that what we are going to study. Microbes in household products means, what do you mean by term microorganism? Microorganism means, you know that the organisms which cannot be seen through the naked eye, these are called as microorganisms. Sukshmanu jeevigalu anta kareetare. So many microorganisms are there. Some of the microorganisms are useful, some of the microorganisms are there which are harmful to us. So in this chapter we are not studying the harmful microorganisms, we are studying only the useful microorganism. That the topic name itself tells that welfare. So because of this, only useful microorganisms are going to be studied. So apart from that, what is the habitat of these microorganisms? The microorganisms are going to be existing in several regions. They are also present in the air, they are also present in the soil, they are present even, you can see that inside the body. And now some of the microorganisms are there which you have studied in the last year. Archaebacteria. they are normally present or found in the harsh climatic conditions or extreme climatic condition. That should be usually you can see that 100 degrees centigrade also, even volcanic eruptions also you can see that. So in this way, microorganisms are, as far as the habitat part is concerned, they are going to be existing in almost all kinds of the environment. And now, first one, as an introduction, you can observe that microbes in household products. How these microorganisms are going to be used regularly. Microorganisms now, maneli yav thara use madtave, whether we are using daily, what kind of the food is going to preparing. Now maneli food prepare madtave, curd is there, idli is there, dosa is there, bread is there. All these are the food materials. It is prepared from the microorganisms. So now, in which we are going to be found as household products. Second one, we are observing that microbes in industry. How these microorganisms are useful in the industry. Industry nalli microorganisms now hang use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ in a large scale we are going to be used. So that is normally what we are observing, that fermented beverages. Fermented beverages andre here we are studying about the even alcoholic substances we are going to prepare. Apart from that, medicines also going to be prepared. Medicines like antibiotic. Now next is microbes in sewage treatment. Enormous amount of the sewage water, waste water, that is what going to be found. This water is getting treated not by means of the chemical substance, by means of the microorganisms. ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಾಣು ಜೀವಿಗಳಿಂದ ನಾವು ಸೀವೇಜ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅಥವಾ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸೀವೇಜ್ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. How we are going to be purify the water by means of the microorganisms. Microbes in the production of biogas. Biogas is also considered as a gobar gas. So this gobar gas is normally used or produced in the villages. Why? Because cow dung is supposed to be there. Sufficient amount of cow dung is there. In the cow dung, methane gas is going to be found. How this methane gas is found in the cow dung? It is because of the methanobacterium or methanogens, that what you have studied in the last year, archaebacteria. We have studied that methanogens or methanobacterium is responsible for the production of methane gas. This methane gas is useful in the preparation of biogas or gobar gas. This is of important question even in the examination also. Diagram is there. So it is that what we are going to be observed. Microbes as biocontrol agents. Biocontrol agents. Name itself that how these microorganisms are normally controlling the harmful pests as well as insects. Insects ಮತ್ತು pests ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು by utilizing the microorganisms. In this way, that what we are going to study the fifth unit, that what we are observing, microbes as biocontrol agents. Last one is microbes as biofertilizers. Microbes as biofertilizer is, now you know that NPK, the fertilizers it is going to be found in the market, that is chemical fertilizers. So with the help of microorganisms, we are naturally the fertilizers are going to be found. They are called as biofertilizers. Like for example, rhizobium is there, azotobacter is there, blue green algae, that what we are observing, that is the nostoc. So various microorganisms which are normally fixing the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil so that it acts as fertilizers. That is what we are observing, that here microbes as biofertilizers. So all these contents, whatever it is there in this topic, we are studying about that how these microorganisms are beneficial to us. Right? So now we are moving toward the first one, that is microbes in household products. One by one we are studying, but today this is the video that what we are going to be completing, the microbes in household products. Right? Now in this part we are observing that the food material what we are normally collecting regularly, some of them they are normally considered as an, for example, curd is there. So these are the food materials. Now microbes in the household products means not the rice what we are collecting regularly. Not we are observing roti or chapati. This is not normally done by the microorganisms. The food materials which must be fermented food materials. So now, what do you mean by term fermentation now? Fermentation andre fermented food materials we are studying here. What do you mean by the term fermentation? Fermentation means degradation of the nutrients anaerobically. Degradation of the nutrients anaerobically. So that is what we are saying, that the fermentation. Whenever microorganisms are communicating with the sugar content or the carbohydrate content, so acidic substances are going to be released. So that's what we are observing regarding, that is the fermentation. Fermentation is nothing but the degradation of the nutrients anaerobically. Anaerobic process is going to be taking place. So now here that is called as fermentation. So what we are observing, that regularly or day-to-day life, whatever we are collecting the food materials which are derived from the microorganism means that must be fermented food. Adu fermented food in the agriculture. One by one we are observing that how these microorganisms are useful in household products. Number one, that is curd preparation. In a simple manner, you can observe that how the curd preparation is going to be taking place. Curd preparation curd preparation, how it is to be taking place. Take 1 liter of milk, boil the milk, and now boil the milk. Now next is 30 to 40 degrees centigrade, and then what we have to observe, that we have to normally cool it. Salpa cool madbodu. Cool yav tara madbodu? In the normal temperature only. We should not keep in the refrigerator. And then what will happen, when if you want to make the curd, that what we are discussing, put a drop of curd on a milk. That what will happen here? Milk nalli one drop of curd hakidmele. Then what will happen? We have to keep it throughout night or nearly 8 to 12 hours. Depends on the climatic conditions. So now if you are keeping the normal temperature, so what will happen? Curd formation takes place. That already we know that. Halige mattu mosalige difference enide anta nimage gottide. Difference enide andre, so we can observe that some of the contents of the milk is supposed to be coagulated. That is what we are observing, it is curd or curdling process. So curd is normally considered as a curdling process is also going to be taking place. Illi curdling process means what? Idu curd preparation. How we are preparing in our house. Boil the milk. Optimum temperature has to be reached. It is because of the growth of the microorganisms are going to be taking place. Apart from that, cool that milk. Yelli cool madbeku. We are supposed to be cooling the milk in the normal temperature, not keeping it in the refrigerator. Later on, put a drop of curd. When we are adding a drop of curd, then what will happen? Keep it for 6 to 12 hours and immediately curd formation is to be taking place. Now, I will tell you about that. What do you mean by the term curdling process? Curdling process andre normally separation of curdling andre separation of milk products. Separation of milk products, that what we are observing it as a curdling process. ಈಗ milk products ಅಂದಾಗ milk ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು substances ಇರ್ತವೆ ನೋಡು. What are the normally what substances are present in the milk? Milk ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಇರ್ತವೆ? Milk products we are going to study. What we have discussed, that curdling andre ಏನು? Curdling andre separation of the milk products. How we are going to be separating? By means of adding a drop of curd in that region. ಅದು ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೆಂಗ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ later on we'll see now. Separation of milk products. ಈಗ milk product, milk ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು substances ಇರ್ತವೆ ನೋಡು. What are the contents of the milk? Milk contain microorganism called as lactobacillus. This is an important part. Milk contain a bacterium called as a lactobacillus. Various kinds of bacteria are there, that what was studied in the earlier class. Next is milk also contain a sugar called as lactose. Lactose is the milk sugar. Milk also contain a protein called as casein. This is milk sugar. This is called as milk protein. Right? Now, apart from that, it also contains water. This is necessary also. Right? ಈಗ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೂರು ನೋಡಿ. All the three things what we are observing that lactobacillus, lactose and the casein. All these andre separation of these two it has been done by lactobacillus. ಇವೆರಡು separate ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರಂದ್ರೆ lactobacillus. ಅಂದ್ರೆ milk contain a microorganism which is useful to us, it is called as lactobacillus. Then what the curd consisting of? Curd ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ curd ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ lactobacillus ಇರ್ತವೆ. But lactobacillus not only one species, different kinds of species of lactobacillus are going to be found. For example, lactobacillus acidophilus anta ಇದೆ. Lactobacillus acidophilus is going to be found. Lactobacillus lactis is also going to be found. And even we can observe that the streptococcus anta barte. Streptococcus lactis. These are the different kinds of bacteria which are going to be found in the curd. Enormous amount of the lactobacillus species are going to be found in the curd. That is why these are called as, collectively we can call as lab. Lab andre lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria. Enormous amount of the lactic acid andre lactobacillus species are going to be found. That is called as lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria, why the name called as? Because lactobacillus is normally releasing the acidic substance. Curd nalli acidic substance release ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ those are called as lactic acid bacteria. Commonly that what we are saying that lab ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Lactic acid bacteria. So now what will happen? These are the milk products that what we are observing that lactobacillus, lactose, casein and the water. Now what will happen? Just previously I told you that ಮೊದಲ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ just we have to observe that take 1 liter of milk. Take 1 liter of milk and put a drop of curd. Add a drop of curd. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಡು. One point you have to remember that put a drop of curd. When we are adding a drop of curd, this is called as inoculum. Inoculum or starter. Inoculum or starter. ಈಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? Curd formation ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಯ್ತು? Milk products we know that. How the curd formation is to be taking place? Earlier I told you. Now, when we are adding the drop of curd, this is called as word inoculum or starter. Idu word ನೆನಪಿಡಬೇಕು. Inoculum or starter. 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ಹಾಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮೊಸರು ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ಮೊಸರು ಹಾಕಬಾರದು. So now here also 1 drop of curd we are adding. Why? Because milk contain microorganism or a bacterium lactobacillus. So what will happen? If the milk is keeping as it is, then what will happen? This lactobacillus is releasing acidic substance slowly. So then curd formation takes place. ಈಗ ಹಾಲನ್ನ ಮೊಸರು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಹಂಗೆ we are keeping like that only for 1 day. Outside temperature, that is normal temperature only. What will happen? Automatically curd formation takes place. ಹಾಲು ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಯಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Curd formation is taking place. ಆದರೆ ನಮಗೆ curd ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. Immediately we require this around 5 to 6 hours ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we have to add a drop of curd as inoculum or starter. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ curd consisting of different kinds of the lactobacillus species, that is called as lab. Enormous amount of the lactic acid bacteria is going to be found. 1 drop ನಾವು ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ activation of the microbes which may takes place. ಅಂದ್ರೆ multiplication of the microorganism takes place. Multiplication when the multiplication is to be taking place, automatically splitting of the milk products takes place. When the splitting of the milk products occurs, then that what we are saying that the curd ಅಂದ್ರೆ splitting of the milk products. Milk product only split ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, now we are observing that when we are adding a drop of curd, then what will happen? Lactobacillus start multiplying. When it starts multiplying, so what will happen here? Automatically curd formation begins. When the curding process takes place, first what will happen here? Microorganism communicates with lactose. ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, sugar content ಜೊತೆಗೆ first it is going to be reacting. When they are communicating with the microorganism ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು? Lactobacillus. When the lactobacillus is communicating with the sugar content, that is the lactose, this is converting lactic acid. Converting lactic acid. Follow? Different kinds of bacteria are going to be found. That is acidophilus ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್. lactobacillus ಒಂದೇ ಇದೆ, lactobacillus ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ. So various kinds of bacteria, these are collectively we can call as lactic acid bacteria. So now here we have to observe that when the lactobacillus or the bacteria is communicating with the lactose, it turns into lactic acid. When the lactic acid, the acidic substances are going to be found, acidic substance produce ಆಯಿತು, then what will happen here? Casein ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು milk protein. Milk protein starts coagulation. Milk protein start coagulation. Coagulation andre what we are observing that coagulation is what? Coagulation andre normally communicating certain milk products ಏನಾಯ್ತು, milk products ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಹೌದಾ? ಗಂಟು ಬರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಮೊಸರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, that is what we are saying that the casein. Coagulation, ರಕ್ತ ಹೆಪ್ಪುಗಟ್ಟುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, clotting of blood, however it is taking place, clotting of the casein. So what we are observing that partially digesting the milk protein, we are going to be called as partially digesting the milk protein, which may take place ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? When the acidic substances are going to be released. Acidic substance release ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ partially digestion of the milk product, that is protein which may take place, that is the casein. Coagulation ಆಯ್ತು, ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ಏನೇನು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು, ಮೊಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರಿನ ಅಂಶ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹುಳಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ acidic substance. Acidic substance ಇದರಿಂದ ಆಯ್ತು lactose. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ first microorganism is normally communicating with the lactose, forms into lactic acid. When the acidic formation takes place, this acidic form is responsible for the coagulation, ಅಂದ್ರೆ partially digestion of the milk protein. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ simultaneous work ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು acidic substance release ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ coagulation of the milk protein which may take place like that. So casein coagulation ಆಯ್ತು. In this way curd formation is going to be taking place. ಇಷ್ಟೇ curd formation ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇದೇ ತರ lactobacillus, lactose, casein, lactose into lactic acid. Casein or the milk protein is normally coagulate or clotting which may take place. Whenever it is going to be clot, then what will happen here? Automatically curd formation, curdling process. Curdling process andre separation or the fragmentation of the milk product, that what we are observing here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ನೆನಪಿಡಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದು lactobacillus, then the lactose converts into lactic acid, casein converts into coagulation. This coagulation is nothing but clotting of the blood which may occur, or clotting of the blood, however we are saying that, however we are observing the clotting of the blood, like that same factor it is going to be observed in the curd formation. So in this way separation of the milk products what we have observed. Now apart from that we have also seen that the inoculum word, inoculum of the starter or the inoculum means what? Inoculum andre put a drop of curd as a starting process. ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is because of normally multiplication of the bacteria which may take place, initiation of the growing of bacteria which may take place. That is what we are saying that inoculum of the starter. You word, these are the words only we have to remember here. Curd formation ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Suppose if they ask this question is supposed to be 2 mark question or 3 mark question andre little bit amount we have to observe that the curdling process andre ಏನು. Next, what are the contents of the milk, we have to observe that. Then what the changes which may take place, ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ದಿನಾಂಕ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. You better just for understanding purpose or even you can say that extra points I told you that Acidophilus, Lactobacillus lactis, Streptococcus lactis, even Lactobacillus acidophilus in the word. This is responsible for releasing the acidic substance. In the Lactobacillus as well. Lactobacillus is the genus. These are the species. Various kinds of the species it is going to be found in the curd. What we are saying that lactic acid bacteria. Follow? Next, what is the importance of the curd? Curd importance is known. So now, what is the importance of the curd? Importance of curd. We have to write those points what we are going to be studying here, like in the class itself. So importance of curd. What is the importance of curd? Just we have to observe that curd is responsible for increase the vitamin B12. Curd is responsible for increase the vitamin B12. Next one is curd is also responsible for to check the microbe. ಯಾವ microbe ಇದೆ? Harmful microbes. To check the harmful microbes which are present in the stomach. Next is easy to digest. Curd is responsible for increase the vitamin B12. This is important. Increase the vitamin B12. B12 normally a person is sometimes suffering from anemia. Anemic formation is to be taking place. That is why increase the vitamin B12. Andre deficiency curd if you are eating regularly. Then to check the microbes which are harmful, I have written in the bracket present in the stomach. Stomach sometimes what will happen, there is upset in the stomach or the intestine. Dysentery. Why the dysentery is to be taking place? It is because of normally microorganisms are sustaining in them. Are microorganisms which are harmful. So when we are eating the curd, when the person is suffering from dysentery, they have to normally collect the curd rice. At that moment we are eating this, then automatically they are killing the harmful microorganisms. Harmful microorganism that is going to be killed. This is very important. And now easy to digest. Digestion is also taking place easily. So now we know about the allergic. 1 or 2 times it is going to be taking place. Then the next day onwards, routine process whenever it is to be taking place, it is normally adjusted. Our body has to be adjusted. All those things you can observe that. So freshly prepared curd only we have to collect. Originally sometimes we are normally keeping for longer days. Just already we know that the sour taste is going to be occurring. Freshly prepared. In the house you can observe that during the night time they are normally putting a drop of curd, and the next day morning curd preparation, freshly prepared curd is going to be taking place. Our time we have prepared curd, but when curd is normally sour in taste, then we are blaming microorganisms. It is because of microorganism becomes sour in taste. No, that is normally what we are observing, that sweet in taste or sour in taste. Both are done by microorganisms. So, right? Importance we have observed and the contents also we have studied. This is what we are observing about the curd. The second one is curd formation. Next, the second one we can observe the duff. Second part we are observing regarding the after the curd formation. So now second one, duff. Duff, you can observe that various kinds of the fermented food is going to be observed. So now here we are normally observing the fermented food. So now curd is also fermented food, no doubt. Duff nalli usually fermentation ಆಗಿದ್ದನ್ನ food ನಾವು collect ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That is example, you can see that what are the fermented food what we are observing regularly, that is idli, dosa, bread, right? These are the food materials that what we are observing regularly. Now only we are discussing about the important part, what you have to be remembered, not all those things. ಈಗ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ದೋಸೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಮ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ. ಹೌದಾ? ಬೇಕರಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತೀವಿ, ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಬೇಕರಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ one simply I will tell you that idli dosa, how we are preparing, you can observe that normally rice flour is going to be found. Houda? Akki irutade rice flour, what we are observing that adding normally black gram, uddini bele, that what we are observing that. If we are normally important part, we have to be understand here what is supposed to be taking place, how the microorganisms are going to be existing. ಈಗ ನಾವು sugar or rice plus dal, ಉದ್ದಿನ ಬೇಳೆ, ಹೌದಾ, black gram, that is going to be mixed. ಎರಡು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ then what will happen, this is the flow that what is going to be observed. ಇದು material mix ಆಗಿತ್ತು. Now what will happen, if you are normally keeping throat tight, ಇಡೀ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ next day morning whenever we are observing that the floor comes up, sometimes it may fall down. What is the reason behind this? That is only we have to observe. ಅದು ಒಂದೇ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಂತೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. So now here if you are keeping the duff throughout night, this is what we are observing regarding the duff. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು duff ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So now when we are keeping the mixture of rice flour and the dal, and now what will happen here, throughout night we are keeping means we have to be keeping for the fermentation process. A fermentation process ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, next day morning the flour comes up. Why it is? Because microorganism is normally responsible for, as already I told you that microorganism first is communicating with the sugar content. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ then what will happen here, when it is communicating with the glucose content, acidic substances are going to be released. You know that. ಅದೇ ತರನೇ when the glucose content is communicating with the microorganism ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದಾಗ now what will happen here, from the floor, keep in mind what I am telling you, from the floor ಹಿಟ್ಟಿನಿಂದ ಏನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ carbon dioxide. So when the carbon dioxide comes outside, when the carbon dioxide releases, reaction ಆದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಬೈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. That by product is carbon dioxide. When the carbon dioxide is going to be released, when the carbon dioxide is released, slowly the flour comes up. ಹಿಟ್ಟಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. When the carbon dioxide is removed from the flour comes up. This is called as even the duff or puffed appearance ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Puffed appearance ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Puffed up appearance is nothing but the soft in nature. ಇದು ದೋಸಾಗೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ಡಿಗೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. But now here we are observing that we are adding yeast, wheat flour, adding the yeast. When we are adding the yeast, then what will happen? Yeast means you know that. ಎದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ? Fungus. When we are adding the yeast, then what will happen? Again, bread becomes soft. A softness or the spongy form of the bread, how it is taking place? It is because of releasing of carbon dioxide. Adhe same preparation. Whenever we are keeping flour for longer time, automatically reaction is going to be taking place. When the reaction is taking place, at that moment CO2 is released as a byproduct. When the CO2 is discharged, then the flour becomes soft. This is considered as a puffed appearance, softness. Even the bread formation also. Bread kuda spongy irukku. A spongy irubekadre ಗೋಧಿ ಹಿಟ್ಟಿನ ಮಾಡಿರಬಹುದು, wheat flour also it is going to be taking place. It is because of the yeast. So all these are the food materials which are normally considered as a fermented food. Followed all of you? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ದೋಸೆ ಇದೆ, ಬ್ರೆಡ್, ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. So now in idli, dosa, bread, whatever the fermented foods are there, usually they are considering it as a probiotics. These are normally considered as a probiotic. Even curd also, these are considering it as a probiotic. Why they are called as probiotic? It is opposite to antibiotic. Probiotic ಅಂದ್ರೆ live microorganisms we are collecting, that is called as a probiotic. Live microorganisms we are collecting, that is the probiotic, which is going to be used. ಹೌದಾ? ಶುಗರ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಶುಗರ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ is also there. So apart from that, even dosa is also there. These are the food products that is considering it as a probiotic. ಇವೆರಡು ಏನಿವೆ, we are not applying the oil and all those things. Bakery products, only these things we have to observe them. That is why we are normally from the idli or the bread. So fermentation process is going to take place, and they are all important to us, and they are easily digestible. What we are observing are easily digestible, idli or the bread. Is it not? So if anybody is admitted in the hospital, then normally we are collecting the plate of idli or 1 pound of bread. ಯಾರು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಬಜಿ ಒಯ್ಯಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Why we are not collecting? Is because of that. Just you have to remember that they are acting as probiotic. ಶುಗರ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದವರು ಕೂಡ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. These are the live microorganisms what we are observing. Duff ಅಂದ್ರೆ puffed appearance, soft appearance ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ discharge of carbon dioxide ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಸಾಕು. Next one is third what we are observing that ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಟಾಡಿ. Toddy is the traditional drink. Toddy is the traditional drink. Toddy is the traditional drink normally found in South India. Found in South India. Toddy is the traditional drink found in South India. And in this part we are observing that in toddy and how they are going to prepare it. Very important part you can observe. For example, in the villages, I think you have seen that morning time only some gida irthe. Just we have to observe that they are normally climbing a coconut tree and they are collecting some fluid, neera anta kuda karibu. So that is toddy. It is normally considered as a traditional drink. Idu enagtide, usually fermentation takes place. In the morning they are collecting. They are collecting from the sap of palm tree. Even that is coconut also. If they are collecting, means what will happen? Unopened spadix of inflorescence. We have studied spike and spadix type of inflorescence. Inflorescence open at that moment only they are collecting the fluid. If they are collecting the fluid before sunrise, and now whenever sunrise occurs, they are keeping for the sake of fermentation. Within few hours you can observe that the alcoholic substance, it is normally getting fermented, and alcoholic substance is going to be formed. Otherly alcohol release aaytu, usually what will happen? Normally the villagers are going to be collecting this. That is the traditional drink, neera anta kuda karibodu. The same thing, it is going to be found sap of the palm tree or coconut. Next you can observe that some more fermented food that what we are observing that the soya bean is also there. Soya bean and even fish also you can observe that bamboo shoot. So these are the food materials. Soya bean on the bamboo shoot that what we are observing that you more anyway more kuda all the three food materials are going to be fermented. You kuda fermentation ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Soya bean you can say that soya bean is mixed with any kind of the food material, so the fermentation is going to be taking place. We have to keep ಹೌದಾ and now ಇಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕಬಹುದು. Fish also you can observe that fish also getting fermented ಅಂದ್ರೆ preservatives like it is acting as a preservative and we have to be utilized. Bamboo shoot also it is going to be found. Some of the regions we can observe that they are normally make the pickles also. This is kuda pickles ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ bamboo shoot. Bamboo shoot is edible and now ಹೌದಾ chop ಮಾಡಿ then they are normally keeping for the fermentation. ಹೌದಾ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Later on we can observe when the fermentation is going to be taking place, we are preserving throughout the year for making the pickles. Andre apart from these are also certain food materials which are going to be fermented, right? Last one we can see that the cheese. One more we are observing that thing, cheese. Cheese is how the cheese is going to be formed. It is also milk product. Cheese ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. I will tell you about that. Curd already we have studied. A curd ಇಂದ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವಾಟರಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we are removing the watery amount, the thick part that is normally making the cheese. But now here the difference is that during the time of boiling the milk only they are adding the curd. Followed. At that moment they are also adding the flavor also. Which kind of the flavor is supposed to be required at that moment they are going to be adding. So in this way what will happen? During the time of boiling process only ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ curd formation ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. Milk boil ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು cool ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ during the time of boiling process only they are adding a curd and the splitting of the milk product is to be taking place. Splitting ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ suddenly they are adding the different types of the flavor. So on that basis cheeses are normally derived. Cheeses are normally made on the basis of cheeses are prepared on the basis of mainly the texture, flavor, taste. Texture ಅಂದ್ರೆ normally softness, flavor and the taste. ಯಾವ flavor ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಯಾವ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ we are normally adding. ಹೌದಾ ಪೇಂಟ್ ಹಚ್ಚಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ cheeses are going to be made on the basis of texture, flavor and the taste. This is also important read question or even theory part also we are going to observe that texture, flavor and the taste. As far as our syllabus part is considered, normally two kinds of cheeses are going to be formed. ನಿಮ್ಮ syllabus ಪ್ರಕಾರ so now two kinds of cheeses are there. Number one, cheeses are of two types of cheese. Number one, Swiss cheese. Number two, Swiss cheese. Idaರಲ್ಲಿ just I am going to write the bacterium, name of the bacterium it is going to be found here. Propionium bacterium. Shermani. Propionibacterium shermani. This is the bacterium that is going to be used in the preparation of Swiss cheese. The name itself suggests that this is normally arising from the Switzerland Swiss cheese. So now Propionibacterium shermani. Important part is ಈ ಚೀಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ the cheese is normally consisting of large holes. cheese ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Why the softness is there? Because of normally large holes it will be there. Large holes ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ discharge of carbon dioxide. Enormous amount of the carbon dioxide is going to be discharged. That is why large holes. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಚೀಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ Propionibacterium shermani ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. That is Swiss cheese. This is an important. The Propionibacterium shermani. This is normally derived from the bacterium. Then repeatedly one more question. One more question is going to be asked. Second one is Roquefort cheese. Roquefort cheese. Roquefort cheese. This Roquefort cheese is normally derived from the fungus Penicillium. Penicillium Roquefort. This is the fungus. ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, already I told you that during the time of curdling process only they are adding the flavor and even certain type of microorganism in which how it is going to prepare. ನಮಗೆ Swiss cheese ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ Propionibacterium shermani. This bacteria is normally cultured in the laboratory. Laboratory culture ಮಾಡಿ then we are going to be adding there. ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Large holes ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, it's because of discharge of CO2. Remember this point. And the second one is Roquefort cheese. This is normally derived from France. Penicillium roqueforti. It is a fungus. Name the fungus. It is involved in the preparation of the cheese. This we have to write. Name the bacterium. Propionibacterium shermani. We have to write it. Followed. Two kinds of cheeses are there. Here dotto holes. Holes are also small. Some holes. Andre texture is different. Flavor is different, taste is different. Cheeses ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ, but here we are going to observe it, right? Two kinds of cheeses are there. What we are observing that. So today, what we have studied, how the microorganisms are used in the household products. Like curd formation, we have studied that. Like we have observed that how they are normally prepared, duff formation. And also we have observed that the different kinds of cheeses, toddy how it is going to be observed. So different fermented food also it is going to be observed, that is bamboo shoot, soya bean and the fish. In the next video we have to read out these things. One more question is important, and next class only revise ಮಾಡಿ, then we are studying the industrial products. For all of you have to write down all those things. Right, next video we are studying. Have a nice day.